Hello, friends. So, as you would have seen in my past videos, these are very strange and random trips that I take without any destination in mind that at the end lead to such extravagant places that my heart just cries to keep on visiting again and again. So, this last weekend, I took my parents out for a trip to the seas, right? So, I usually have a couple of places in my mind whenever I go out for a trip, one being the mountain and the other being the beaches. Not exactly the populated beaches like the one you see right now. So this is Alibaug, and we just stopped by for a moment. So last time also when we were traveling around the Konkans, we visited here but didn't do anything. This time also we didn't do anything because I am not a fan of uh, crowded beaches. I'll keep on looking for hidden gems, right? And till this time, I didn't have a clue, and this is the first time I I have actually placed my father at the back of this MTV, and we took a stroll on the beach at Alibaug. Again, this is good. I did also ask my mom also to sit on it, but then she was too scared. So again, this was a completely random trip, and you would not probably see any of the sights that people typically see when they visit such places, right? So we didn't spend a lot of time at Alibaug Beach, just a few minutes, maybe half an hour, and then we quickly started off towards this unknown destination. On the way, we could see all these dry fish stalls. Yeah, dried shrimp and Bombay duck are some of the favorite dry fish that I really love. I can't say about the others because I literally can't eat anything that I haven't already eaten in the past. A strange conundrum, but I haven't been able to figure a way out yet. So this time, one of the reasons I didn't book a place to stay was that what I have found in my past, I mean, few instances, you get much better options from localites once you reach the site. So now that this time it was only my parents, and yeah, they are okay enough to adjust for some time. And even the worst place of stay that I would be booking would usually turn up to be the best places of stay for my parents. So that's why I just took the gamble. And I am, as am making this video, I'm literally thanking my stars that I made that decision. Now you can see my car parked here, right? There are a couple of other cars also that were parked. Here I actually turned my vehicle because I asked some of the localites if we can move ahead and if there is a place where we can stay. They said that the road is not good. You have to park your car right here. I still turned my car back and still I asked myself that let me just have a look if I can figure something out, right? And just like 200 meters further up on that cliff road, there's this crazy place. So the name of this place is Courtyard Campground. Generic name, right? They haven't kept a name yet. And Pankaj Khare, I guess, is the owner of this place. There are just two rooms, as you can see, and luckily one of the rooms was vacant, and I just confirmed it right away. I will show you in the next few minutes the gem of a kind place this is, right? I am in the beach right now, and that beach is directly connected to that place of stay. And right from the way you can see my dad sitting in this slanted chair, right? I could sense that he was enjoying this a lot, right? This was a happy place. And I mean, see, you can see at the back, right? It's not a premium place, but then the location at which it is in and the kind of peace that you will get is unmatchable. Directly opposite to that porch, you just have this sandy courtyard, and just next to the courtyard, you are directly greeted to the beach, right? And this is not any of the other beaches around that place, right? Kashid beach, or there was the Alibaug, or any of the other beaches, right? It's not like that. It's completely pristine, serene, and it is like a private beach. You would literally see no one else around this place, right? How crazy is that? Dream spot. Just look at this. So I was walking around the seashores from the property, I was just getting more and more surprises of what the place had entailed for me, right? So I can see a few folks near the rocky part of the beach. They were doing some wedding photo shoot. And this was the first time where I'm actually taking my DJI Neo out and using it for a trip shoot, right? I had some warm discussion with some of the cameramen from that wedding shoot out there on what is the device that I'm using and all. Yeah, he seemed to have some fair good of bit of understanding about drones and all. And yeah, so just enjoy the views. I clicked some quick shots, but then the place was extremely windy. While DJI Neo is one of the lightest drones out in the market at barely around 130 grams, it has immaculate image stabilization, but the lightweight nature of the drone does have some issues, especially in these kind of windy terrains. So some of the shots turned out to be really great, like the this one that you can see, right? But I tried a couple of rockets. Again, you can see the entire drone gets moved with gusts of wind at times, right? So not exactly a fault of let's say the stabilization. Even with the shakes and all, you can see that the image is buttery smooth. It's just that the drone itself is shaking. So I spent some more time on the rocky beach, right? Uh, just contemplating on what good fortune made me reach this place. But that was not the end of it, right? It was just half of the finding the place was just half of the excitement. Now I was clicking those shots with my drone. There was this wedding shot going on around nearby, and then there was this third set of folks. So I could see one of the guys was trying to place his tent, set up his tent, but because of the wind, the tent just kept on getting devastated. Now there were two more guys that soon joined him, and with the cycles lying around, it was I was pretty sure that they were cyclists. It was only much later when we, I mean, spent some good time together because I mean, like-minded people attract each other, right? So it was a happy time that I spent with those guys. Anyway, they were cyclists and not just regular cyclists. They had cycled for over 150 kilometers that day, right? so so I mean, first time I am interacting with such folks who are so much dedicated to cycling. Anyway, I mean, they did try their best to set up their tent, but because of the winds and all, finally they had to give up and they just started packing up their tent. So those were the three guys walking behind me. Again, completely unexpected encounter and ended up making some good acquaintances. So that's Rahul, Arun, and Jackson. Yeah, and it was just the start of a good evening spent with them. So that's how the first day ended. I didn't show you around the property. So going forward, I will show the photos and videos of the property because I mean it was pretty late by this time. I will move to the night videos of the property and in detailed view of what it looks like. I will show up in the video going forward because those videos were clicked the next day. So it was almost dark by the time I returned from the walks on the beach with all the shots of the drone taken. And by this time, the property was almost completely lit up by these lights that were wrapped all around the coconut palm trees. So, from a vibe point of view, I'm sure this would compete against any of the shacks in Goa that you will find. And even better, you can stay right away on this property itself. So, walking back to the campsite, I found that my father was already chilling himself out on these lounge chairs. Again, these lounge chairs are an asset for any place or even an impoverished uh, vacation spot, right? If it's beside the sea and if the owner has taken the courtesy of putting up these kind of lounge chairs, that means that he is also enjoying the vibe that the tourists are getting, right? So that's why that guy, I mean, he's Pankaj, he's the owner of this place. And walking back through this courtyard with the lights wrapped around the coconut trees is an experience in itself. So both my mom and dad, they were really happy with what they, I mean, I have been able to secure from them. So this is a small room, right? It's a very basic room, just one bed where two or three people can sleep. I, by the way, slept on the floor because they had made an additional bed for me. The room tariff, if I have not mentioned till now, is extremely reasonable. It's just 2000 bucks. It's a non-AC room. Bathrooms and toilets are not attached. And one thing to note is the food was just delicious. This is the first time I have seen my father eat his entire plate after such a long time. I also had five rotis. Roti is something that I would always avoid, but I also ended up eating five rotis, rice, along with the chicken sukka and chicken curry that they had given. So post the meal, again we just went towards the lounge chairs just beside the seaside, and you can see my father also walking right up to the sea just to enjoy the view for a moment. I'll keep the next few seconds just at the natural sound of what we were able to hear sitting at that spot. Just be with us. Early next morning, I went for a stroll on the beach with my father. Yesterday, because it was quite evening by the time we reached, he couldn't go out. So that's why we went out early in the morning. I actually found him loitering on the beach. I woke up quite late at around 9, and my dad usually wakes up very early in the morning. And he was also telling me that we noticed some very beautiful cows last yesterday when I reached here, because this is a farmhouse and you could see all around sheds of cows. But these are not cows, these were actually bulls. So the entire time I was thinking, these were such beautiful cows, and I was even I mean, telling this to my wife that these cows are so beautiful and so elegant and so slender, only to know the very next day that these are all bulls. Complete change of perspective. So during the daytime, a few more folks came. Now that it was quite, the sun had come out and it was quite ahead into the morning, I finally took the time to make a proper video of what the property looks like. So this is the entry point of the property, right? So just after you enter, and the car parkings are all on the in the outside, right? Once you enter, you can see the three super cyclists. They were already working on something on their cycle, and in front of them lies the homestay, and on the right hand side is the courtyard, and next to it is the ocean. So yeah, I mean, maybe they are planning for 100 more kilometers of ride. From what I know, they are staying today also. And yesterday only they came here for the first time. They had noticed this spot in one of their previous trips like 4 months back, and then they planned again to reach the spot finally. So, although they seem to be like college or school friends, or at max maybe colleagues, they turned out to be something called bike packer. That's the term that I heard for the first time there. Jackson works for a Canadian drug company, and the other two guys, Arun and Rahul, they both work for a company called Scott, which is into athletics and cycling gears, right? Now, Rahul talked a lot about his past, how he is just a 12th pass, and even after that, I mean, the kind of uh, position he has reached in his life is more or less similar, or maybe at par, or even better than the best students in his class, whatever they are living. So that's a very uh, deep insight that you finally get, right? Wherever you start off with, you always have the time to catch up and then maybe surpass, let's say, the ones who had a huge head start during their early school or college days. Even in my life, also, I have numerous such friends who are doing pretty well despite not being, let's say, the typical good student during school days. So, yeah, life is a great equalizer. The checkout time was around 12 noon, and just before checking out, I spent some more time into the blues with all the peace and calming sound of the ocean on my ears. So there was only upma and poha for breakfast, and at first I didn't want to have any because I tasted poha. I find it to be yucky. Upma I have never tasted, but because there is no other option available, I tried a bit from my father's plate, and wow, I mean, I really liked it. So, a couple of more food discoveries. We bid goodbye to the family, Pankaj, his father, and his son. And there you can see my car parked, and quickly we started off on our return trip. We did make a stopover, small layover at Ours Beach, and I'll just put some more videos that I clicked there, and then that's how the trip ended. Again, a extremely fulfilling and happy trip. I hope, I mean, life keeps on bringing these kind of travel journeys in future also. So stay tuned to my channel. I have one more video for Matharan coming up because that's where I took my parents to a couple of weeks back. But then the content was not too much organized, so I didn't put a video up. I'll see what salvage can be done of whatever content I had taken on that trip and then maybe post it as a separate video. See you guys. Just be amazed at some of the more clips that are yet to come. And yeah, stay tuned to my channels. Please like and subscribe. Random and completely unscripted content will keep on flowing. Thank you.